Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Raleigh Boots on the Ground, I want to welcome you all and thank you for being here today. We're honored to stand alongside Congresswoman Deborah Ross, Sheriff Willie Rowe of the Wake County Sheriff's Office, Chief Terry Salt of the Cary Police Department, Chief John Salter of the Wendell Police Department, WakeMed, community leaders, violence intervention professionals, survivors, and families across Wake County. During National Police Week, it is important that we recognize public safety is a shared responsibility. It takes all of us working together: law enforcement, healthcare professionals, violence intervention organizations, educators, faith leaders, survivors, and community members, because violence impacts everyone in our community. It impacts families, it impacts neighborhoods, it impacts hospitals, and it impacts schools. And it impacts the people who respond to crisis every single day. This is why we are here. Today's announcement represents investment in emergency response, victim services, technology, case management, housing support, and opportunities that help save lives before violence escalates further. We are especially grateful to Congresswoman Deborah Ross for helping secure more than $2 million in federal funding for critical public safety projects throughout our community. This afternoon, you will hear from leaders representing multiple parts of our public safety ecosystem. You will hear from Congresswoman Ross, whose leadership helped secure these investments for Wake County communities. You will also hear from Asia Height, case manager at WakeMed, whose work supports victims and families impacted by violence. You will hear from Fawn Dockery, a parent who has experienced the devastating impact of gun violence firsthand, reminding us that behind every statistic is a real family. You will hear from Sheriff Willie Rowe of the Wake County Sheriff's Office, chiefs from the Cary Police Department and Wendell Police Department, whose agencies continue working every day to strengthen emergency police response and public safety across our communities. Today reflects what is possible when federal leadership, healthcare systems, community violence intervention organizations, survivors, and law enforcement all work together towards the same goal: safer and healthy communities. At Raleigh Boots on the Ground, we know healing and safety go hand in hand. This funding will help us continue supporting victims and families through violence intervention services, housing and homeless prevention, case management, and job support training. This work is personal to us, and at this time, it is my honor to introduce you to Congresswoman Deborah Ross.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you so much to all of you for being with us today. I know that our law enforcement officers and Raleigh Boots on the Ground work every single day to help keep our community safe. And I'm honored to join you all during National Police Week, an important time to recognize and thank our courageous law enforcement officers, as well as the community leaders who put their lives on the line to protect our community. This week, I'm excited to make an important announcement. Last year, I requested funding for 15 community projects, including 5 focused specifically on public safety. These projects were developed by the people and for the people of Wake County. These projects were signed into law earlier this year, delivering almost $3 million to strengthen public safety across our community. From Raleigh to Cary to Wendell, these projects will reach people and places across Wake County, including hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding for the Cary and Wendell Police Departments. We have the Cary Chief, Terry Salt, and the Wendell Chief, John Slaughter, here with us today. And I am so grateful for their continued work to keep our towns safe. I'm thrilled to announce more than $1 million in funding for the Wake County Sheriff's Office Mobile Command Unit. With this funding, Wake County will equip a mobile command center to respond to circumstances where response time is critical. And we know how big this county is. This will provide law enforcement with additional operational support during dangerous and rapidly evolving situations. This project is about so much more than funding. It's about giving law enforcement the tools they need to address crime directly and ensuring that our citizens have confidence and faith in the officials sworn to protect them. Our communities are safer when police departments have cutting-edge tools to respond to crime in a timely manner. And our sheriff's department is getting some of those cutting-edge tools too. I'm also thrilled to announce nearly $300,000 of support for the work of Raleigh Boots on the ground for community violence intervention services, including homelessness prevention, case management services, and so much more for victims and families. Raleigh Boots on the ground, in partnership with WakeMed, has helped hundreds of people get back on their feet while also addressing the roots of community violence, such as gun violence. Thank you, Gerald. We've known each other for a long time, for the hard work that you and your team have done in our community to improve lives and to make all of us safer. I firmly believe that Wake County is the best place in America to live and to work and to raise a family and to start a business. And that's why every day more and more people are moving here. I'm committed to bringing federal dollars back to Wake County. These are your tax dollars at work to help our local governments, agencies, and partners adapt to this continuous growth. In Congress, please know that I will continue to be a critical partner for our police departments, our sheriff's department, and I will advocate for the resources and funding you need to do your jobs, and you do a great job. Thank you to everyone for being here and for your commitment and dedication to our community. I'm now honored to turn the mic over to Asia Height, caseworker at WakeMed, to talk about the impact of community violence intervention firsthand. Asia, the mic's yours.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of WakeMed's Violence Recovery Program, we are excited and honored to partner with Raleigh Boots on the Ground and to recognize Raleigh Boots on the Ground as receiving financial support through the Office of Deborah Ross to support survivors of gun violence throughout our community. This partnership and support reflects our shared commitment to helping individuals and families heal, recover, and regain stability after experiencing trauma. Since the Violence Recovery Program launched in February 2024, there have been 593 patients to date that have been identified by the Violence Recovery Programs as victims of violence due to a penetrating injury. Raleigh Boots on the Ground has been an incredible community partner in helping us address the social determinants of health that can directly impact our patients' recovery. Together, we have been able to assist survivors with relocation costs, rent and utility payments, transportation, replacement of essential furniture, medication assistance, durable medical equipment costs, and many other urgent needs that help create stability during recovery. We recognize that recovery is not only physical, but also mental and emotional, and that survivors need safe and supportive environments in order to truly heal. In addition to supporting survivors, WakeMed's Violence Recovery Program is also dedicated to increasing community partnership and involvement in gun safety education. We believe prevention, education, and community engagement are critical components in reducing violence and creating safer neighborhoods for everyone in Wake County. This partnership continues to make a meaningful difference in the lives of the survivors we serve, and we are grateful for Raleigh Boots on the Ground, as well as the Office of Congresswoman Deborah Ross, and thank them for their dedication, compassion, and continued support of our mission. Thank you.
My name is Fawn Dockery. I'm standing here because something very devastating happened to my family. I'm here to tell you about what happened to my beautiful, innocent 8-year-old daughter, Genesis Dockery. The one on my t-shirt instead of in her classroom. The one now in the graveyard instead of getting ready to get out of school for a fun summer break. Before that day, my beautiful daughter Genesis was a child who deserved what every child deserves: to be safe, carefree, and grow up surrounded by adults who protected her. Genesis loved her family, friends, and God. She had her own laugh, her own little routines, her own way of lighting up a room. Genesis had dreams of being a nurse, maybe a teacher. But on July 25th, 2023, I dropped off my two beautiful, innocent daughters, Genesis and Amara, at their babysitter's home and headed to my 9-to-5 job like I normally did. My wife worked as an administrative assistant 9 to 5 also. Then the phone call came. The kind of call most parents, through complacency, never worry about. The kind of call that, no matter what you think as a parent, it rips your heart and mind into pieces. The kind of call that splits your life into a before and an after. I was informed by the babysitter that she was outside of the home and Genesis had been shot in the head. I would later learn that Genesis was playing with her little sister when the babysitter's 11-year-old son, who had a peculiar fixation with guns, accessed an unsecured gun in the home of the babysitter. In a single moment, just 4 days away from Genesis' 9th birthday, our entire world would change. The babysitter's son shot Genesis in the head. Not outside, not in some faraway place. She was shot in the home where she was supposed to be safe. In a space I thought I trusted. I cannot describe what it does to a parent to hear that their child has been shot in the head. Your body goes cold. Your mind races, and every second feels like a lifetime. The harm from a gunshot doesn't stop at the moment the trigger is pulled. It took my daughter's future. It took birthdays we will never celebrate, school years we will never see, and the woman she will now never become. It took the sound of her voice out of our home. When people talk about gun violence in numbers, I need them to understand. Genesis is not a number. She was a whole child. And now we live with the permanent empty space where her life should be. Genesis was harmed because an unsecured firearm was within reach. Every home with a firearm needs both protection and conversation. I am not against the Second Amendment at all. We just understand that common sense that comes with owning a gun. That is responsibility, accountability, and security. Parents, securing your guns is not just about safety. It's about responsibility and love. Store guns locked, unloaded, and out of reach. Make sure your children understand they are never toys or games. Have honest conversations about what to do if they ever see a gun. Don't touch it, leave immediately and tell a trusted adult. Teach them to take seriously any talk of violence and speak up right away. Because this is what unsecured guns do. They turn ordinary days into emergency rooms and then into funerals. They turn a parent into someone who dreads award ceremonies that no longer have their child in them. They create an empty chair at every table. They create anniversaries no family wants to be a part of, but every parent can feel it in their body. Today I speak Genesis' Dockery name because she matters. Because what happened to her should matter to everyone. More specifically, those who welcomes a child into their home. My family will carry July 25th and July 27th for the rest of our lives. I am asking for changes. The simplest action, locking up a gun, could have prevented my daughter's death. Please do not wait until another child dies before you decide to make your home safe.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to stand with our community partners today as we unite our efforts to end violent crime and to make our communities safer for all. We're grateful for the efforts of Congresswoman Ross and her commitment to public safety by securing the funds that will allow us to purchase a mobile command post and able to deploy our resources into the field that normally would be in the office. These resources, such as our analysts, our telecommunicators, our IT section, as well as having space to stage and to shelter, along with planning strategies for deployment in a climate-controlled area. This will give us also the opportunity to respond in advance of crime, as well as responding to crime after it's occurred. We believe we can better serve the community with the resources that are provided through this mobile command post, whether it's a crime scene, whether we're responding to a missing person, to a boat that's stranded on Falls Lake or Harris Lake, person experiencing a crisis, we're able to get to them in a timely manner and deploy the drones and every type of technology that we have to bring about a successful outcome. So again, we're just grateful for the efforts of Congresswoman Ross. We're grateful and appreciative of our community partners, because public health is public safety is public health, and it takes all of us working together for the common good. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Now I'll turn it over to Deputy Chief Neese.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Neese. I'm the Deputy Chief at the Cary Police Department. I'm here on behalf of Chief Terry Salt. We are absolutely thrilled with the support we've been given by Deborah Ross's office. Congresswoman has shown wonderful generosity in allowing us to purchase a tech resource and support vehicle. You might ask, what is something like that? Well, we are a technology-driven society. Everything we do in law enforcement is technology-driven. If we are out on a long, critical incident scene, we have to have the technology to keep us moving forward. That could be our radio batteries, that could be our laptops, that could be our in-car cameras, it could be anything that we use to operate effectively. So in critical incidents, it's imperative that we have support technology to keep us moving forward. We learned a lot during Hurricane Helene on those types of incidents that are not just a few hours, but days and weeks long. We need technology to keep us moving forward. And this vehicle will help us do that. So thank you so much, Deborah Ross. Appreciate you.
This is an exciting afternoon, isn't it? My name is John Slaughter. I'm the Chief of Police for the Wendell Police Department. And before this, Sheriff Rowe and I were speaking in his office, and we were talking about the communication, how important that is with local law enforcement, and also partnerships. And partnerships is the key. And I know Congresswoman Deborah Ross has been a great partner. She's been a familiar face in Wendell, so I know she sees the challenges that Wendell has right now with the growth that we have. It's very exciting what's going on, but keeping up with the growth is very important, and maintaining those partnerships with the community. And one of the things that we sought funding for was for our in-car cameras. We wanted to advance with technology. I think everyone's aware that technology is growing very quickly and can very much help law enforcement. But with that, comes cost with that. And so to upgrade to a more state-of-the-art in-car camera for small agencies such as ours, this funding is very crucial. So we're very grateful for this funding. It's going to help our agency with transparency and keeping those strong community relations, and so people can trust their police department because we're always filming and providing the best evidence to the courts, and also using that same footage to help increase training for the officers. So we're very grateful for it. We're excited where the town is going, and very excited about our partnerships with Congresswoman Deborah Ross and also with other Wake County agencies. Thank you.
Thanks again to Congresswoman Ross, Asia, Bond, Sheriff Rowe, the chiefs, our community partners, survivors, families, members of the media who are here with us today, and everyone who's joined. What we heard this afternoon is that public safety is strongest when communities stop operating in silos and start working together. Today's investments will strengthen emergency response capabilities, improve coordination and technology support, victims and families, and help expand violence intervention efforts throughout our community. But beyond the funding, today sends a message that prevention matters, that intervention matters, that victims matter, and that partners matter. And as someone who works directly with families impacted by violence, I can tell you that some of the most important interventions happen long before a trigger is ever pulled. Sometimes it's housing support, sometimes it's counseling, sometimes it's mentorship, and sometimes it's simply making sure someone knows that they are not alone. Every day, every life we help stabilize is a potential tragedy interrupted. This is the work that we are committed to continuing to doing together. And I see some of our community partners that are out here in the audience today. From the very first person that comes to my mind is the chairman of Raleigh Boots on the Ground, Tony Cope. Tony's a business owner in our community who's been here for about 30 years. We also have my exec, a Command Chief Master Sergeant from the United States Army, LaDerrick Green, keeps me on my toes. Ashley's my intern. She's on her way, Congresswoman Ross, to Washington, D.C. to be an intern in Washington, D.C.
Yay, come by the office.
The Boots team, Scotty, Diana, Tyrone, Debbie, we can't do this without them. Asia, you already know, and the whole entire WakeMed staff. Pastor Ken Porter. Pastor Porter has about 5 acres where sometimes we have to take people over there to his property and just let them cool down over there in his community. Moms demand action, students demand action, every town. We also received a grant from them, and they've just asked me to go speak at their Gun Sense University in Washington, D.C. next month. North Carolinians Against Gun Violence. This is the lead premier organization in our state that does the work to keep the policy where it needs to be for North Carolina. And last but not least, people like Dr. Frazier, who's the top donor for Boots. It's people like him that keep us with the lights on every single day. And I also want to thank a young man that I just most recently met. His name is Tony Brown. And Tony's going to be working with me to work with young men like over here, Frankie. And we're going to be working inside of our community to do everything that we can to prevent violence as much as we can. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead now and move into the photo part presentation with Congresswoman Ross.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you.
And thank you to Congresswoman Ross's staff here and in DC.